Okay, a French exam has an oral and a written part. 30 students sit the exam. 25 pass the oral section and 26 pass the written. 3 students fail them both. We need to determine the probability the student passed the written exam, given that they passed the oral, and that the probability that they failed the written section, given that they passed oral. Okay, so again, I always like drawing a Venn diagram if I can't visualize the situation, if I can't understand anything. You don't have to do this if you don't need to. However, this is the way that I'm going to do it because I am a visual person. I like visually seeing probability. So we'll have 2 events. We'll have A here. We will have B here. And we need to define our events, okay, because we have to define these. A is the past the oral section, and B is going to be that they pass the written. So we know that 3 of them failed both. So 3 is going to be outside of my 2 sets. Now, it said 25 passed the oral and 26 passed the written. And there are only 30 students to sit the exam. If we know that 3 of them failed both, we know that A, the number of A union B, should equal 30 take 3. Because that's all that we have, and then everything that's outside of my set. So that should equal 27. The number of A union B is equal to 27. So we can now use that and use our addition rule to find the intersection of both sets. So we have the probability of A union B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B, take away the intersection of both of my sets. Now, luckily for us, since they will all be out of the same outcome, I don't need to write that over 30 over everything. Let's just imagine I've multiplied everything by 30, gotten rid of that denominator. So the probability of A union B, well, that's 27. 27 is equal to 25 past the oral. Oh, sorry, guys. 25 past the oral. Okay. 26 past the written section. And then we need to take away what's in them both. So 27 is equal to 51, take away the intersection. So 24 is equal to the intersection. So if 24 is equal to the intersection, we chuck that in the middle there. And then we know that there's just one person that only passed oral and not the written. And there are 2 people that passed the written but didn't pass the oral exam. And now with that information, these questions are now quite easy. So the probability that they pass written section, given that they pass oral. So that is actually just the probability of B given A, which is the probability of the intersection over the probability of A, which is 24 out of 30 over 25 out of 30, and that is equal to 24 out of 25. So that's the probability that they passed the written section, given that they had already passed the oral section. Now for the second part of my question. What's the probability that they failed the written section, given that they passed oral? Okay, well, the probability that they passed the written section was B. Well, B complement is that they failed the written. So we want to find the probability of B complement, given that they passed oral. So that's A again. Which means we want to find the probability of B complement A intersection over the probability of A again. Well, if we look back to our Venn diagram, we want to find everything in here that is not in B and in A. That's only that one. That's that lonely one there, because that is in A, but it's also not in B. This 3 is not in B, but it's not also in A, so that's why we can't do it. It's just going to be 1. And the probability of A is still 25, so that's just 1 out of 25. And that is my 2 probabilities there.